This movie takes one of the most imaginative sandbox games ever created and flattens it into a joyless and overstuffed slog that feels less like a celebration of Minecraft's boundless creativity and more like a corporate checklist gone awry. With a cast led by Jack Black and Jason Momoa, there's a flicker of promise, but even their manic energy can't salvage a script that's as directionless as a newbie lost in the nether. The plot centers on Steve, a turquoise-clad miner who's traded real-world drudgery for the blocky paradise of the overworld. After a lengthy, exposition-heavy intro, he's joined by a ragtag crew of Earthlings sucked through a portal via a glowing orb that everyone insists on misnaming for a cheap laugh. Together, they bumble through a fetch quest to thwart Malgosha, a pig witch with vague evil plans, while the film trips over itself trying to juggle too many ideas and not a single one that sticks. Minecraft thrives on player-driven chaos and invention, but this adaptation opts for a paint-by-numbers adventure that could have been ripped from any generic kids flick. The overworld, a place that should burst with whimsical possibility, feels like a green-screened afterthought. Its creatures hyper-realistic, yet soulless. Its landscapes a mishmash of clashing textures. Where the game invites you to build something extraordinary, the movie hands its heroes prefab weapons with a single hammer tap, stripping away any sense of craft or ingenuity. Jack Black throws himself into Steve with the gusto of a caffeinated camp counselor, belting out multiple songs and spouting Minecraft jargon like a walking wiki page. It's occasionally endearing, but mostly exhausting. His shtick feels calibrated for toddlers, while the rest of the film winks at adults who'll never care. Jason Momoa, meanwhile, steals scenes as the delightfully absurd Garrett, a relic of a bygone gaming era who's equal parts pathetic and heroic. He's the one bright spot, but even his charm drowns in a sea of half-baked subplots, like Jennifer Coolidge's bizarre romance with a villager that's as pointless as it is inexplicable. The ensemble's younger characters are criminally underserved, reduced to one-note props in a story that forgets them for long stretches. Henry's arc about embracing creativity could have been the heart of the film, but it's buried under explosions and Jack Black's armpit jokes. Speaking of humor, the movie tosses in a few crude gags and random stabs at absurdity, but they land like creepers in daylight, awkward and ineffective. The action sequences, meanwhile, are a blurry mess, lacking the spatial coherence that Minecraft's blocky logic demands. For a movie about a game where anything's possible, this movie feels shackled by its own timidity. It's too safe to capture the game's anarchic spirit, too cluttered to tell a coherent story, and too cynical to inspire the kids it's ostensibly for. Fans might cheer at the sight of zombies and piglins, but those nods feel like pandering crumbs tossed into a stew of missed opportunities. By the time the credits roll, you're left wondering why a game about building your own world produced a film so content to live in someone else's shadow. It's not worth to spend time to watch this. We do not recommend this movie at all.